Most shoppers will walk into Kroger this week and leave without a single one of these 21 items, not because they sold out, but because they had no idea they were about to vanish forever. Here is what nobody in the grocery world is talking about. Stores do not announce discontinuations on social media. They do not send you a notification. They quietly pull items from their ordering systems, let the shelves drain, and replace the slot with something more profitable. By the time you notice the gap, it is already over. And right now, Kroger's March discontinuation list has 21 items on it. Some of them might surprise you. A few of them will genuinely shock you. I have spent years watching inventory systems, tracking clearance patterns, and cross-referencing what disappears from store shelves against what shows up in corporate earnings calls. This is not guesswork. There is a pattern, and once you understand it, you will never shop the same way again. The problem with how most people prepare is that they react. They see a headline, they rush to the store, and everything they want is already gone. The people who actually stay ahead of shortages are the ones who move before the crowd. They buy the quiet items, the overlooked ones, the items sitting on the bottom shelf, covered in a thin layer of dust, priced under $2, that nobody under 40 even recognizes. That is exactly what this list is. 21 items being discontinued by Kroger right now. Some are being cut entirely. Some are being replaced by name brand versions at nearly double the price. And a few of them are so nutritionally and practically valuable that losing access to them at this price point is genuinely significant. Pay attention. Let's get into it. The first item is Kroger brand pure pumpkin puree, not the sweetened pie filling. Pure, unseasoned pumpkin in a can. Before you mentally skip past this, hear me out. Pumpkin puree is one of the most underestimated shelf-stable foods in existence. It is loaded with fiber, vitamin A, and potassium. You can use it in soups, baked goods, pancakes, oatmeal, or as a natural thickener for stews and chilies. It adds body and nutrition to almost any dish without changing the flavor in any dramatic way. The shelf life is extraordinary. Stored in a cool, dry location, canned pumpkin puree remains usable years beyond the date printed on the lid. The reason Kroger is pulling it has nothing to do with quality. It's about shelf space and margin. Libby's controls this category, and Kroger no longer wants to compete for that aisle position. That means remaining stock is about to get clearance down. Expect prices to drop to 50 or 60 cents per can before it disappears entirely. Go find every can your store still carries. Buy all of them. What is the real cost of missing this? Think about it. A single can of pumpkin puree adds a full serving of vegetables to any meal invisibly. Your family eats better, and they never know it happened. At clearance prices, you are paying almost nothing for that. The second item is Kroger brand jarred beef gravy. Not the powder packets, not the bouillon. The actual jarred, ready-to-heat gravy. This product is being discontinued because younger shoppers tend to buy it so rarely that it barely moves, which is exactly why you should care. It means it is sitting quietly on shelves right now, waiting for someone who understands its value. One jar costs around $1.50 and contains enough to elevate 4 separate meals. Pour it over rice, mix it into boiled vegetables, use it to turn plain potatoes into something your family will actually finish. During multi-day power outages, having something rich and savory to add to otherwise plain food makes an enormous psychological difference. People can tolerate hardship much better when the food still tastes like something worth eating. Find it in the aisle near stuffing mix and canned cranberry sauce. Pick up at least 6 jars. They have a long shelf life and cost almost nothing. This is the difference between pantry food that depresses everyone and pantry food that feels like a real meal. The third item is Kroger packaged polenta in tube form. This one consistently flies under the radar because a large portion of shoppers simply do not know what polenta is. It is cooked cornmeal, sold in a sealed cylinder, already firm and ready to slice. One tube runs about $2 and yields 8 solid servings of dense, calorie-rich carbohydrates. Slice it and pan-fry it in butter until the edges crisp up. Bake it with shredded cheese on top. Crumble it into a simmering pot of soup as a thickener. It adapts to almost any preparation. It is also naturally gluten-free, which matters if anyone in your household has dietary sensitivities. And critically, it does not taste like cardboard. When you've been eating rice and pasta for days, polenta tastes like an actual meal. Kroger is pulling it because it sells unevenly across regions. Some stores move it fast, most barely move it at all, so the chain is consolidating the line. If your location still has it, buy every tube on the shelf, store them in a cool, dark cabinet, and they will last well past the printed date. The fourth item is Kroger brand canned mackerel, not tuna, mackerel. Hold on before you react, because the nutritional case for this product is genuinely impressive. One can of mackerel contains roughly 450 calories. A can of tuna contains around 120. You are getting nearly 4 times the caloric density in the same size container for a similar price. Mackerel is an oily fish, which means it is rich in omega-3 fatty acids, complete protein, and fat. In any kind of extended food stress scenario, fat is not optional. Fat keeps you satiated. It helps your body absorb fat-soluble vitamins. It keeps your thinking clear. Canned mackerel delivers that at under $2 per can. Mix it with mayo, mustard, and some diced pickles. Eat it on crackers. It is smoky, rich, and far more satisfying than tuna salad. The reason this product is being cut is simple. Most American consumers default to tuna or salmon. Mackerel does not get marketed. It just sits on the bottom shelf of the canned fish aisle, ignored. Go find it. Look down low. Buy at least 10 cans. They store for years, and when tuna shelves are empty, yours will not be. The fifth item is Kroger brand refrigerated deli pepperoni, not the shelf-stable snack pack version, the actual deli-style slice the pepperoni in the refrigerated section. Here's what most people do not realize about cured meat. An unopened package lasts up to 3 weeks in the fridge. Once opened, you can freeze the remainder, and it holds for months without any quality loss. Pepperoni at around $3.50 a pack gives you a high-protein, high-fat ingredient that works across a remarkable number of meals. Layer it on homemade flatbread, chop it into scrambled eggs, roll it with cheese for a fast snack. Mix it into pasta for a complete meal in under 15 minutes. It fries up well, it freezes well, and it adds serious flavor to otherwise plain pantry food. Kroger is discontinuing their store brand version. Once it is gone, your only options will be the name brand refrigerated packs at nearly double the per ounce cost. Buy 2 packs now. Keep one in the fridge, freeze the other, rotate regularly. The sixth item is Kroger brand dried lentils, green or brown, either variety. This is one of the most nutritionally complete and shelf-stable foods that exists, and it is chronically underbought. A 1-pound bag costs under $2 and produces roughly 10 cups of cooked lentils. That is a significant number of meals from a single purchase. Lentils require no soaking. They cook in about 25 minutes. They are loaded with plant protein, soluble fiber, iron, and folate. You can make soup, dal, a thick stew, or a hearty side dish. They absorb whatever flavor you cook them with. Add garlic, cumin, and broth, and you have something genuinely good. Add them to tomato sauce and pour it over pasta. They disappear into the dish and add protein invisibly. Kroger is discontinuing their store brand version. The name brand equivalent costs significantly more and delivers a nearly identical product. Buy 12 cans minimum. Store them in a cool location and they will remain usable for years. The eighth item is Kroger brand boxed cornbread mix. A single box costs around $1 and produces enough cornbread for a full family meal. This is one of the fastest breads you can make from a pantry. You need 1 box, 1 egg, and a splash of milk or water. That is it. In 20 minutes, you have fresh bread. Bread has a profound psychological effect during stressful periods. It makes any meal feel more complete. It pairs with soup, chili, beans, or eggs. And because cornbread is dense and slightly sweet, it satisfies in a way that plain crackers simply do not. The store brand is being phased out. Name brand mixes cost more. Stock the Kroger brand now while it is still available in under $1. A box stores for over a year. 10 boxes cost you $10 and give your family fresh bread whenever they need it most. The ninth item is Kroger brand powdered milk. A box runs between $4 and $6 and reconstitutes into several quarts of usable milk. This is one of the most genuinely practical long-term pantry items that most shoppers have never purchased. Use it for baking, cooking, oatmeal, or coffee. Mix it into mashed potatoes for added creaminess. It does not taste exactly like fresh milk straight from the glass, but in cooked applications, it is virtually indistinguishable, and it stores for up to 2 years sealed in a cool, dry location. Kroger is consolidating their powdered milk offering and moving toward name brand alternatives that cost nearly twice as much. The store brand is a genuine value. 2 boxes cost you under $12 and give you a reliable dairy source for months. That matters more than most people realize until fresh milk is unavailable. The ninth item is Kroger brand canned chickpeas. 1 can costs under $1. Chickpeas are one of the most protein-rich, filling, and culinarily flexible legumes available in canned form. Drain them and roast them in an oven with olive oil and spices for a crunchy snack. Mash them with lemon juice and garlic for an instant spread. Toss them into soups, stews, or salads. Add them whole to pasta and broth for a quick, complete meal. 1 can provides around 300 calories and 17 grams of protein. That is an outstanding nutritional profile for the price. And like mackerel, canned chickpeas stores for years without refrigeration. Kroger is cutting their store-brand chickpeas as part of a broader seafood aisle reorganization. The window to buy it at the current price is closing. Get 10 cans. Rotate them into meals regularly so you know exactly how to use them before you ever need to depend on them. The 11th item is Kroger brand canned sweet corn. This is basic, this is inexpensive, and it is being discontinued because shelf velocity on store-brand corn has been declining, which means clearance pricing is coming. Sweet corn is one of the most kid-friendly canned vegetables in existence. It is mild, naturally sweet, and works as a side dish alongside almost anything. Add it to soup, mix it into chili, stir it into rice, make a simple corn chowder with it, some powdered milk, and a can of diced potatoes. The flavors work together perfectly. At clearance, you'll find these cans for around 50 cents each. Buy 30. That sounds like a lot. At 50 cents per can, 30 cans costs $15 and provides a vegetable option your household will actually eat repeatedly without complaint. The 12th item is Kroger brand canned salmon. Not the premium wild caught variety, the basic pink salmon in a can. This product is nutritionally dense, loaded with omega-3 fats and complete protein, and it costs under $2 a can. You can make salmon patties by mixing the contents with egg, breadcrumbs, and seasoning, then pan-frying them. Use it as a spread on crackers. Add it to pasta with olive oil and capers for a 10-minute complete dinner. 1 can contains roughly 250 calories and 30 grams of protein. That is an outstanding nutritional profile for the price. And like mackerel, canned salmon stores for years without refrigeration. Kroger is reducing their store-brand salmon offering as part of a broader seafood aisle reorganization. The window to buy it at the current price is closing. Get 10 cans. Rotate them into meals regularly so you know exactly how to use them before you ever need to depend on them. The 13th item is Kroger brand canned kidney beans. 1 can costs under $1. Kidney beans are the backbone of dozens of classic recipes across multiple culinary traditions. They are the primary bean in classic chili. They pair with rice to form a complete protein. They hold up well in soups and stews because they do not dissolve under heat the way smaller beans do. 2 cans of kidney beans and a can of diced tomatoes with chilies is almost a full pot of chili. Add some ground beef or canned meat, and it becomes a genuinely filling meal for a family of 4. At under $1 a can, you're spending less than $4 to feed 4 people a hot, satisfying dinner. The store-brand version is being discontinued in favor of name-brand options at nearly double the price. Buy 24 cans now. They last for years, they are cheap, and they are one of the single most useful items you can put in a pantry. The 14th item is one that many people have never heard of: Kroger brand canned jackfruit. This is a tropical fruit that, when canned in brine rather than syrup, has a texture and consistency remarkably similar to pulled pork or shredded chicken. It takes on whatever seasoning you cook it with. Season it with cumin, smoked paprika, garlic, and a little sauce, and serve it in tacos. Add it to rice bowls. Use it as a pizza topping. At under $4 a can, this is a uniquely flexible product. It is one of the only shelf-stable items that convincingly mimics the texture of cooked meat, which matters both for vegetarians and for anyone trying to stretch a food budget. Kroger is pulling jackfruit from their regular inventory because it does not sell consistently outside of urban markets. In most suburban locations, it simply sits, which means the price is about to drop, and then it is gone. Buy 6 cans now and experiment with them while you still can. You will not regret having them on hand. The 15th item is Kroger brand canned coconut milk. A can costs around $1.50 and contains rich, full-fat coconut cream suspended in coconut liquid. This is a remarkable cooking ingredient. Use it as the base for curries, add it to soups for richness and body, pour it into rice while it cooks instead of water for a subtly sweet, creamier result. 1 can transforms the flavor profile of an entire pot of food. It is also dairy-free, which makes it universally useful regardless of dietary restrictions. And because it is shelf-stable, it stores alongside your other canned goods without any special handling. Kroger is discontinuing their store-brand version. The name-brand alternatives cost nearly double. Stock up now while the price is still low. 6 cans cost you under $10 and give you a flavor tool that elevates ordinary pantry cooking into something that feels intentional and satisfying. The 16th item is Kroger brand canned black-eyed peas. One 15-ounce can costs well under $2. Black-eyed peas are mild, earthy, and creamy when cooked down. They pair perfectly with rice to form a traditional dish known across the American South as Hoppin' John. Black-eyed peas, rice, aromatics, and a small amount of fat for richness. It is humble, filling, and genuinely delicious. The problem is that most people associate black-eyed peas exclusively with New Year's Day and never buy them any other time. That is a missed opportunity. They work in soups, they work in salads, they work as a simple side dish with butter and salt. Kroger is moving black-eyed peas to a seasonal-only item. Once the current stock sells through, you will not see them again on a regular basis. Buy 8 cans now. They store like any other canned legume. They give you a protein-rich option that almost no one else in your neighborhood is currently stockpiling. That alone makes them worth having. The 17th item is Kroger brand frozen vegetable and pasta blends. These 16-ounce bags cost around $3.50 each and contain mixed vegetables, pasta, and sometimes a seasoning packet all in one bag. Drop the contents into boiling water or microwave directly in a bowl. Dinner in under 10 minutes. These are not gourmet meals. They were never designed to be. They're functional, filling, and fast. And in high-stress situations, that's exactly what you need. Decision fatigue is real. When you're exhausted or overwhelmed, having a meal that requires zero thought is not a luxury, it's a genuine asset. Kroger is pulling their store-brand frozen blends and keeping only name-brand options at nearly $6 a bag. The difference between a $3.50 bag and a $6 bag adds up quickly across a year of shopping. Grab several bags now and keep them in your freezer. They work. The 18th item is Kroger brand canned Vienna sausages. These come in small 5-ounce cans for around $1.20. They're fully cooked, shelf-stable, and edible straight from the can with zero preparation. Eat them cold with crackers, slice them into fried rice, chop them into eggs. They are high in protein, calorie-dense, and require no cooking tools whatsoever. What makes Vienna sausages uniquely valuable is their texture. They're packed in a light gelatin broth that keeps them moist. Unlike many shelf-stable meats that turn dry and unpleasant, these maintain an acceptable texture even after extended storage. Kids tend to like them. Adults who grew up with them reach for them instinctively. And in any scenario where you need fast, no-heat protein, power outages, travel, camping, emergencies, they're one of the most practical items you can own.
Kroger is cutting their store-brand version. The name brand costs nearly double per can. Buy a case now. The 19th item is Kroger brand canned fruit cocktail in water. Not packed in syrup, in water. A 15-ounce can costs around $1.40. The water-packed version contains roughly half the sugar of the syrup version and tastes closer to actual fresh fruit. It is not cloying, it is not overly sweet, it tastes like fruit. Stir it into plain yogurt, mix it into oatmeal, drain it, and add it to a leafy green salad for a surprising pop of brightness. Blend it into a smoothie with powdered milk and ice, or simply eat it straight from the can as a refreshing snack when you are tired of everything else on your shelf. Fruit is one of the first things people begin to crave intensely when they are eating primarily from a pantry for an extended period. Having it available in a low-sugar, shelf-stable form is a real morale booster. Kroger's store brand is being discontinued. Buy 6 cans before they are gone. The 20th item is Kroger brand jarred sliced mushrooms. A 4.5-ounce jar costs around $1.50. These fully cooked, water-packed mushrooms drain instantly and are ready to use. Add them to pasta, omelets, soups, or pizza. 1 jar is enough for 2 solid servings. What makes mushrooms uniquely valuable among canned vegetables is umami. Most canned vegetables add bulk and nutrition, but they do not add flavor complexity. Mushrooms do. They make food taste richer, deeper, and more satisfying without requiring any additional seasoning. Fresh mushrooms are expensive and go bad within days. Jarred mushrooms solve both problems simultaneously. Kroger is discontinuing their store brand version and moving entirely to name brand options that run close to $3 per can, nearly double. If your store still has the Kroger brand on the shelf, buy as many cans as you can reasonably store. This is one of the most practical bulk purchases on the entire list. Now take a step back and look at everything you just heard. 21 items. Some of them cost under $1. Most of them cost under $2. All of them are shelf-stable for a year or more. All of them are being removed from Kroger's regular inventory. And all of them are sitting in stores right now, unnoticed, while shoppers walk past them on the way to the items they already know. The pattern here is not accidental. Stores discontinue items when they stop fitting into margin strategies, not when they stop being useful. The items on this list are useful. They are practical, they are nutritionally valuable, and they are cheap precisely because the market ignores them. The people who understand this shop differently than everyone else. They do not react to shortages. They do not compete for the last can on an empty shelf. They have already bought what they need, quietly, weeks before anyone else was paying attention. That is what this information is for. Not to create fear, not to manufacture urgency, to give you the same picture that most people don't get until it's too late to act on it. Go to Kroger this week. Walk the aisles slowly. Look at the bottom shelves. Look at the items with dusty tops and tags that look like they haven't moved in a while. Those are the things about to disappear. Those are exactly the things you should be loading into your cart. If you found this useful, take 1 second to hit the like button right now. It genuinely helps get this information in front of people who need it, and it helps my channel keep producing research like this instead of the same recycled content you see everywhere else. Every like makes a real difference in whether this video reaches someone who actually needs it. And come back next week. Because the next video is going to reveal 7 foods that almost every serious prepper buys and stocks, and that are actually a poor use of money in any real emergency scenario. The answer is going to surprise you, and it might change how you think about your entire pantry strategy. You will not want to miss it.